We are, yes, there comes the bling, bing, or whatever. We're live. It's me and Michael, Thomas and Michael. And we're doing the late Atlantic Scrum. Well, late for some. I guess it's morning where you're at, Michael.
Yeah, 11:15.
All right. And it's Thanksgiving weekend over the United States, right?
Yeah, today's Black Friday.
So have you been out shopping, or are you staying indoors to avoid all the crowds?
I'm about to go out.
Okay. Well, we see some images of that on our news broadcast.
Are you talking about like the people fighting over toys and stuff?
Yeah. It's not a big news item, but sometimes they just show it, and I always just it's unbelievable how people can fight over certain things. But I guess for some people it's important to buy cheap stuff. And I see we have Norbert with us. How are you doing, Norbert?
Yeah, hello. I'm just would like to speak with you about this advanced searching things.
Sure. Let's do the Scrum first, and then we can have a discussion about that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I see that we have John and Christopher. We are getting a large crowd here today. Let me go to screen share. Welcome everybody, and let's start the Scrum. And I believe Michael was here first. Michael, do you wanna start us off?
Yeah. So I've just been on support with Ninefold. Yesterday I didn't really do anything. I just asked a few questions. I was hoping Sam would be here to see if the answers were adequate about a possible security issue we've had on local support.
I understand. Okay, is that a blocker for you now, or can you guys move forward?
I should be able to move forward. I mean, it's just I think I've patched the immediate hole on the servers, so it's just a question of if it was compromised, what do we have to do?
Okay, I understand. And your immediate plans, Michael?
To go out and try not to be killed.
Well, good luck with that. I'll be praying for you. Okay, but will you be able to do some pairing? I know that this is Thanksgiving weekend.
Possibly, yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, anything else to report?
Nope.
All right. So let's go to Norbert. You were here as the second guy, so go ahead.
Yeah, hello. So I'm working on the advanced search project in the website one, and that's why we are here with Christopher. We would like to discuss with you some things what we found about this members page, and yeah.
Okay.
This is the reason what we are here.
Okay. So let's finish up the Scrum and we can talk about it.
Yeah. So. Thank you.
And your immediate plans? Will you be pairing with Christopher after this, or what's up?
Yeah. We try to see how to works this members page, and how to work the filtering on the page, and how can we implementing the search, and we found some weird thing.
All right, we get to it in a few minutes. All right, John. How are you doing?
Good. Yesterday I just put up a quick little spike for a feature that Rachel has requested for local support. But
I saw that. It's a beautiful interface.
What? Oh, the drop down?
Yeah, I think it was very nice.
Did you see the link I posted in the pull request? There's this thing called Chosen. You've maybe come across it before. It's like a jQuery plugin for drop selects. I'll put it in the chat here. We just switched to it at work. I mean, it's not a big library. It just does a little couple things to make drop selects nicer.
I haven't seen that one. I saw it this morning when you posted that link in. Yeah, it seems very good, and I think I will. We will be using this at work as well. Actually, I have a possible use case for that. So it's a great thing, great tip.
Yep. So that's there. If anybody is looking to pair on local support, I would probably work on that with them. Otherwise, I'm just going to work on my Haskell homework. That's
cool.
it.
All right. And any shopping on Black Friday, John?
No, I don't have my Christmas lists drawn up yet, so I can't take advantage of it.
Okay, stay indoors and stay safe.
Yep.
That's good. All right. Okay, Christopher.
Hi, I'm in the same boat as Norbert. We've been pairing this morning on the advanced user search feature. And yeah, we just went through basically, and we looked at every item on sort of like the wish list in the story, and just at a high level, just sort of talked about how it could be implemented, and saw what was sort of already implemented on website 1, and then we just prioritized it by what we can reasonably do now, what requires a little bit of refactoring work on website 1, and what there's one thing we identified that's like almost like a showstopper.
Okay. Well, I don't think we have anybody else on the Scrum list unless somebody joins us. No. Okay. So let's have a talk about this and see if we can straighten things out.
Sure.
Let me just log into Pivotal Tracker and see if I can give you any help or whatever. So advanced search help, and it's in the current.
I think you can find in the backlog.
Oh, you haven't pressed start.
Oh yeah, we forgot it. Maybe on the May 2015.
All right. There you go. Advanced user search. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's talk. What have you find out?
Okay. So I've just pasted a link to a Google Doc that we were sort of using when we were talking about this.
Okay. Let's see.
And basically, it breaks down the search criteria. Project involvement, in my time zone, currently logged in, current availability status, and skills.
Yes.
And sorry, somebody's typing there. Okay. So project involvement, that's fine. We can get those. In my time zone, that's fine. Currently logged in.
What do you mean with new field in the database? In my own. What about this in my own time zone? New field in database?
Yeah, that's not absolutely necessary. Actually, we can just look at the last. I think there's actually a presenter that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Just that's why we try to think on to use the new field, because every user you need to count or generate the time zone, everything, every.
Oh, you're looking
every request.
Right.
Okay, but we have a time zone saved as an attribute for each user.
Yeah.
No, it's not saved as a time zone. It's the latitude and longitude of the user location.
Oh, so what you mean is it's calculated on every login.
It looks a bit expensive to me, to be honest, but it's not absolutely necessary that we create a new field. But I mean, it can be sort of
rather weird. I thought that this was.
There's I think it's a presenter that basically calls a time zone class that takes coordinates as its parameters and calculates the time zone.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. But the thing is that we. Okay, but the thing. Okay, so I know I was involved in geocoding in the geocoding part of this. You know, we are doing in geocoding. We are taking the last known IP of this user of each of a user, and then we send it off to an external service, and we get back the country where that IP is originated from, and also down to a level of a city, which sometimes isn't very accurate, but still it gives us an idea where a person is located. And using that information, and we store that information in the model. So we store the country, the province, and the city. And using that information, we are in some way calculating the time zone, basically. So I don't know if it's necessary for you to store the time zone information, because you have already enough information to be able to pull that instantly. Or am I completely wrong here?
No, you're absolutely correct. I mean, it would just come down to I don't know how expensive it is to sort of calculate the time zone for every user on every request for this page, but maybe that's not that big of a deal.
I don't know. I mean, we are in the process of trying to optimize this application. So, I mean, every request we make is expensive. But the thing, the geocoding isn't done instantly either. What I am, if you have a look at the members page, the index page, and we scroll down to the very bottom, you see that they are. Oh, not now because I geocoded them. Yeah, but there are some users that are not geocoded. You see.
Yeah.
Either they have not logged in, or the geocoder work on them for some reason. And I have to do that manually. Actually, I log in every other day and do the geocoding for people, because we don't have an automated task for that. So I'm not quite sure. If I go on vacation someplace and log in and geocode myself, and then the time zone is set, and then I go back home, is the time zone going to change for me or not? I don't know the mechanism behind that at all, so we need to investigate that probably. And if you guys see that there is potential for performance enhancement, then go ahead and create a new story, and we can vote on it quickly if it's not a big of a change. So go ahead and work on that. Otherwise, we can just put it in the icebox or backlogs and work on it later. But okay. Yeah.
So the two sort of middle hardest ones, currently logged in. We can do this, but we think that there's a major performance penalty that we're incurring right now.
Let me just hold on a second. We have already an indicator if a user is logged in. You see here on my on Thomas, you see this green dot, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is because this is showing because I'm logged into the system. I've been active within the last 10 minutes.
Saw that there's a logged in method on the user model.
I think
the problem is that for every single item in the view, it's reaching into the user model and asking about the online status for that user.
Oh, okay.
So there might be an easy way to just return that information with the index, rather than after the data has been returned to the view, then go and ask the model for that information.
One second, run it through me again. I lost you.
Okay, so currently, the way we think it works is there's an index view of users, and then as part of the rendering function, it goes in and looks at each user and contacts the user model to ask if that user is online or not.
Yes.
So that's potentially 400 queries or something like that, if that's the way it is running.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what we'd like to see is when we get that, when the controller returns the index of users to the view, that the online attribute would be included with that, rather than added after the fact.
Okay. All right. I got you. That would be great. Yes, that's of course that lowers the amount of requests and enhances performance. Of course.
Can I have a question about this geocoding? Just which things we are using about this to resolve the longitude and latitude to the.
You mean what service we're using, or?
Yeah. Google ones or just
No. We're using. What are we using? We are using free geocode IP, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Just.
See. Yeah. Oh, there are actually two services. Hold on a second.
Just I'm asking because for example, the free Google thing is allowed to 50 requests, and after that the Google don't want to.
Yeah, that's why we didn't take Google. I know that. I implemented this once, and the free geo IP it's called, and it actually allows us to make as many calls as we want. But the downside is that sometimes it doesn't respond. So sometimes I get a timeout error on geocoding.
Okay. Just I would like to ask to know that.
Yeah, but there is also. I was actually, John, but now you're still online. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about this OpenStreetMap application. It's for local support. I know that you guys are using Google. I'm a great fan of open source things, and OpenStreetMap is totally open sourced, and it has basically the same functionality as Google Maps, and an API you can use. And I know that we don't use a map interface on website one, but if we ever need one, we will not use. If I may say so, we wouldn't use the Google Map, but rather use something that is open source.
That's interesting.
I think you guys should check it out, for ideological reasons mainly.
Is this what you have on your screen here?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's able to provide the same level of information that we need at local support, I could definitely see us switching to it. I'll have to look it up. I assume it has an API and everything?
Yeah. And you see the Swedish interface now because they automatically know I'm in Sweden, so they give me a Swedish interface. But if you access that, you most probably get an English interface. So
right.
So it's built in on open source, and it's built in by peer collaboration, so everybody can submit information about stuff here. So it's a good and very nice thing. In terms of functionality, as far as I'm concerned, but I haven't implemented it in any projects. I just read about it recently, and just to come to think, why I'm bringing this up now? Yes, because I think if somebody would have time, and time is something that I don't have, but if I had the time, I would sit down and check out the API and see if we can geocode using OpenStreetMap in any way, because I think, at least, but I'm not sure, but I think you can use their API to geocode, and you don't have to display a map or anything if you don't want, but you can get location information from that. So I would rather use that than a proprietary service.
Yeah. I posted in the chat what the query would be for getting everybody who's online right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the updated that 10 minutes ago. Because what we do in order to display this green dot is to when a user logs in, we just touch his model, his instance in the database, and we use the same query actually as you just posted, John, to display this green dot on the user's avatar and everything. So yes, everybody that logs in is basically updated and that's why we can see that. Sure. Yes. Any more questions? You want to split this out to a new story again? Then I guess, is that right?
Yeah, we're just seeing that we'll have to probably create a few stories to fully support this. We don't want to make a mess here. You know, like very easily create something really complicated to work out around some of these problems, but.
Yeah, but okay, but I would say that but it is a 3-point story, so it should be rather complex, you know. And so I would say that if you could at least take, you know, either currently logged in or have a status set to ready to pair in this story, you know, and don't break that out. I would say that that could be enough. You know, I agree that we shouldn't make this too big. But since you know the discussion about the story was that it is quite complicated, and that's why it was assigned as a 3-pointer.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if status, current availability status is a priority for you.
I would say so. I would say so. Yes.
The problem we went in there, and the implementation is not it's not ideal. It's probably not a huge amount of work to factor it. But I mean, currently the way it's set up, it's like a has many relationship to the status.
Yes. We had an idea about retaining that information. That's why we made it has many relationship, because the idea behind this is to implement some sort of a karma point system assignment to the statuses. You know, so if you are available to pair and you actually do something with that, we can assign some points to it, but we haven't figured that out yet. So that's the reason why we have.
So it's not currently being really used for anything?
No.
So even if we keep it that way, within that class, the status class, the way it is now, it's an array of strings which are stored as the status. But,
no. Well, it pulls. How do you mean? Each user has many statuses, and what you need to access is the last status of each user, and if it's ready to pair, you can return something, in a search.
Yeah, but if we're on the index page and we're saying like just show me all of the users that are ready to pair, we're doing a search on the database for the string value of the last status that was stored, rather than sort of like an integer value.
Yes, yes, I understand that. Okay. So you feel you should refactor that first before you add it to the search?
I think if we do refactor it, it will make our search project much simpler.
Okay. John, what are your thoughts on that? Should we refactor this first, or implement a solution that is not perfect first, and then do refactoring after that?
I don't really know. I'm always liking to refactor too early, so I can't offer good advice on that. If Sam were here, he would definitely say take the MVP approach of building it with like technological, technical debt, and then refactoring it. But whatever,
Yeah, it's a balance. It's always a balance.
So if you guys are switching,
because this isn't being used anywhere yet, like it seems like it's it's not as difficult to refactor.
Then I would say refactor it in this case. But otherwise, I'm on Sam's page as well. You just go with the minimal thing that you need to do. But if you deem that it would be easier for you to implement the search, method, this search story, if this was refactored, then I say go with your gut feeling. and do it.
And we'll touch base, like we'll bring it up again and sort of let everyone know exactly what we're thinking here, so there are no surprises.
But in terms of performance, you know, if you feel that, you know, I mean, all search is kind of performance heavy, right? Whatever you do. Okay, apart from the one that we have implemented now, because this is only a front-end search, you know, so you don't do anything here, really. But the problem here is that we are actually loading all 635 instances of users and displaying them on this page, so the response time isn't the best, you know. We should be able to paginate this, or, you know, load this as we need it or something. So this page is up for refactoring as well, the index page of users, of all members. But what I'm trying to say is that just do a nice and good and quite comprehensive, you know, advanced search interface, and then we think about performance, because you know, sometimes this site is very slow, but that's not because it's you know, so technically heavy. It's just because we are hosting it on a shitty server, basically. You know, and if we were at 2 dynos or 4 dynos or whatever, and had the money to pay those $65 a month or something that it would cost us, the performance would be much better, and we wouldn't be restrained. You know.
Yeah.
Boxed in oh, I have to optimize everything. I mean, this is not 1969, so you know, we don't have to think about bytes and you know, preserving memory and on everything we do.
To me, the status story, maybe it's somewhat performance, you know, that's motivating this, but it's also the dry approach, because if we're searching for like very specific string values, and we're kind of hard coding that into our search mechanism, and it's also in the status model. That's not very dry. That we're duplicating that knowledge.
But you know what? An idea that struck me is that, you know, you could. I think I have those statuses, those different statuses stored as a constant in the model. And so you can have a drop-down on the search interface, you know, search for all users with status whatever, you know. So, and you can access that constant, right? Now, guys, I need to go back to. I have to go back to my job. They're calling here. So unless there's super many other things, perhaps we can cut this short now.
The only other point, the last one, skills, that looks like a major job. So we'd like to maybe not tackle that right now.
And that's the skills part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's too bad, because that's the part of that I kind of prioritize rather high. Yeah. Because when you want to search for people that you want to pair with, the skills could be very useful. What sort of problems do you see with the skills list as it is now?
The tags are not sort of normalized. Somebody could type in Rails, somebody could type in Ruby on Rails, somebody could type,
yes,
you know, JavaScript and with 2 words or something. So we can't really search for it by, you know, like tag ID. That we would have to resort to some kind of dirty solution.
Well, you could implement some what is it called, fuzzy logic, or
yeah,
we
could do that. Yeah.
That could be, but I understand this. Well, I don't think we should. If you implement some fuzzy logic methods here, you don't have to rework this skills method. But okay, leave it out for now, and we can add that. We can have a separate story for you know, adding skills search later on. You know, to this story, perhaps in the next iteration or something. Okay, gotta go, guys.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Thank you.
Hello, boss. Just fine, thank you. Really? Oh, shoot. I turned off the wrong thing. Where am I? Here I am. I'm still recording this. Man, I'm stupid sometimes. Okay, see you around, guys.